podcast of the Lotus Eaters with Sargon has parted ways with Milk Boy. Milk Boy is gone. He's leaving. He's gonna do his own things. If you were listening to the full podcast on Monday, you may have already heard that Callum is moving on from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters to focus on his own work. The whole team at Lotus Eaters HQ will miss him intensely, but we will closely following his adventures. This news will undoubtedly stir widespread despair amongst our audience, so we encourage you to hop over to his YouTube channel, Britannica1, and subscribe to keep up to date with his escapades. Hope you will join us. I would love to go to Britannica1. Callum out here getting some views when he does tourism videos. He's going to go around and do some tourism. Nice. Tourism in Eastern Russia. In Poland, in Europe, in Russia, Serbia, Taliban. We didn't watch this, actually. I must have clicked on it, though. Good job. Tourism in Taliban-controlled Afghanistan. Trying to talk to the tolerant left. I'm ready, dude. Polish-British relations with Krzysztof Bosak. You ever been hitting your Bosak chat? Anyway, Callum's leaving. Milk Boy has perished. This is his last episode.
Well, there's a war going on. Not the gay and boring ones.
All right, I don't care, though. I don't care about the food bank war. Sadiq Khan joins fire. Don't care. They hate the English. Don't care. Secure their bonus. Don't care. Simple as the history of St. George's Day. Don't care. The self-immolation trend. Ooh. Krzysztof Bosak is a fash. No way. Milk Boy likes fascists. I don't believe it. He's such a nice little guy.
So another person has set themselves on fire in the United States of America, and
wasn't that a conspiracy theorist, far-right Trumper? Am I nuts? Wasn't he a super conspiracy theorist guy, filled with conspiracies that we were going to, you know, calling self-immolation a trend is fucking wild, dude. Well, two people is a trend. Two people is a trend, especially when they're on opposite sides of the political spectrum.
I thought it'd be interesting to look at...
Who are you, man? I don't like your vibe.
Why? And examine this new trend. And I think it may well happen again. It seems like just the frequency in a short space of time seems to indicate an emergent pattern.
Two? He was all over. Thought that Biden and Trump were working together for a fascist coup, but he was against that? Wow.
And I wanted to look at this. So... this is the statement in this Guardian article from the chief of the New York police where this happened. It happened outside of the courtroom where Donald Trump is being tried, but it doesn't necessarily seem related to the actual trial itself. It's just where he could get the most publicity.
Right, so just to think, because obviously when this happened, I saw people going, is this a Trump supporter who set himself on fire to protest Donald Trump?
It doesn't seem to be related to the trial in any way. It's just that that's where all of the news crews were. It's where it's most likely to get traction. And I suppose I
disagree.
Was right in that sense because we're covering it right now.
But hang on, just to think, that's crazy, isn't it? It's like, no. Look, setting yourself on fire is not sufficient to impact the news cycle. I've set myself on fire somewhere politically relevant for that to become an important statement.
Well,
yes. adding to the impact of your protest, yeah, would impact increase the impact of your protest. Yes. Isn't that interesting? What a silly little guy. Are you telling me, Milk Boy, that if I were to light myself on fire in my home, it would have less of an impact than setting myself on fire in front of the Queen? I mean the King. God rest her soul.
To get
yeah.
Man has been shot. Everyone's interested. Yeah. Black man was shot by other black man. No one's interested.
Yeah.
I think that this is part of the reason that people are resorting to these.
Black man shot by black. What the fuck? Milk Boy, what the fuck are you talking about? How does that explain to me? Okay, explain to me political activism versus police brutality events and their publicity. I would love to understand.
Methods is that they feel politically disenfranchised and therefore they have to go to these methods.
Again, just going back to the 90s for a second, if someone sets themselves on fire, it doesn't matter where they did it. Like, that's news, you know? Anyway, apparently it's not news until...
How does this further my political agenda?
How does this tie in with Trump?
How does this further my political agenda? What do you think people set themselves on fire for, Callum? God damn it, Milk Boy. You can't have a bad show on your last show. Yes, every time someone is self-immolated, it's been a political statement. People don't just self-immolate because they're just feeling down. I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure someone's just had a bad day and been like, fuck it, I'm done. But most people who self-immolate, it's a deeply, I guess you could call it profound protest. It just really depends on how they do it and what they're doing. This guy seemed to just be a fucking wacko, though. Just a straight-up wacko. But even so, with the wacko-ness, he was trying to continue to push his political beliefs of 100%. Yeah.
God.
Well, it does tie in with Trump a little bit, at least the reason that he did it. But
Sorry for the interruption.
Oh,
I'm for
cool.
the
Mark, he's 30.
Deus fault.
What? I'm not gonna watch all this, but you have a priest on your little shit, Sargon? Cool. Cool, Carl. Dope. Little diddler action going on. Little systemic diddlation. Excellent.
This chief of New York Police said at
Deus Vault? Really? Yeah. They're playing for honor, dude.
1:30 this afternoon, this was on Friday, we observed a male walk into the center of the park. He starts shuffling around his clothes. He opened up a book bag, takes numerous pieces of paper. He throws the pamphlets through the park, and then he pulls out a canister, puts some kind of liquid on himself, and he lights himself on fire. So that liquid was, I think, fuel of some kind for the fire, right?
Thanks. Wow. Dude, the insight from these geniuses.
And this is the guy. There he is. This is a sign, obviously, before he set himself on fire. Trump is with Biden, and they're about to fascist coup us.
They're about to fascist coup us?
Which I don't think anyone's really arguing.
I'm usually skeptical of the mentally ill diagnosis
Yeah.
to people who do such things, but I don't know about that.
I'm wondering if this is mental illness dovetailing with 24-hour news cycle and social media, right?
Well, we're going to be looking at his reasons for it, but I thought it'd be interesting first to look at some examples of self-immolation, just to kind of understand. Not actually showing them on the screen, by the way. I'm not going to show you any footage because I don't want to freak anyone out. But I think the quintessential example of this.
Don't want to freak anyone out. Here's a ancient black and white picture of something that definitely won't freak you out.
This one, this Vietnamese Mahayana Buddhist monk who self-immolated on a busy Saigon street on the 11th of June, 1963. And this was to protest the persecution of Buddhists by the South Vietnamese government, which was headed by a devout Roman Catholic who coincidentally was killed by a CIA-backed coup that same year. So if he didn't do this, he would have been alive and it would have been fine. Just saying. But the sort of legacy of this image has followed on. It's obviously quite famous. I know that John F. Kennedy said, obviously before he was killed by that same organization that backed the coup. What?
Flown out JFK conspiracies. So this image is really powerful because of the juxtaposition of the semi-peaceful demeanor with obviously you're fucking in flames, right? So the kind of will and fortitude or some shit. The conviction is clear. And so it's a powerful thing because humans, we're interesting little people. I don't think without this, nothing would have happened. I think it definitely. I think these kinds of things. You're talking about it, and it happened in 1963. You know what I mean? This has an enduring quality to it. People think of this image a lot, not just throughout, but for extreme protest. This is maybe the most famous image of extreme protest.
He said, "No news picture in history has generated so much emotion around the world as this one."
Well. Yeah, probably. It's one of the most. If it's not, this is one of the most famous photographs for sure. I think about this photograph sometimes when it just comes up.
And obviously, that's a pretty significant thing for a future president to say. And ironically enough, a lot of people's contact with it in this day and age is from the cover of Rage Against the Machine.
First of all of these songs are great. Second of all, funk metal, nice. But that's not where I think of it.
Their self-titled first album from '92, which it's kind of ironic that so-called anti-capitalists commercialized.
Vietnam, the little one, like, sort of like turned towards the camera and like crying and shit.
The death of a religious man for their music, which made them lots of money. But
Yeah, but Rage Against the Machine's entire career has been this one strange, ironic decline.
He's upset about Rage Against the Machine. One strange, ironic decline.
yes, well, they,
I mean, this album's an amazing album,
mhm.
but like now they're charging like $500 for a live show, and it's like, yeah, fight the power, bro. What?
wasn't.
I disagree. They like walk with picketers and stuff regularly. Like Tom Morello is out here in the streets, man. They don't know what the machine is. Yeah, I know, right? No fucking clue. Rage Against the Machine. Let's see how many. They still have 11 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Oh man, now I want to listen to Bulls on Parade. Look, I mean, this is not some who the fuck knows who they're talking about band. Like what? You know all these songs. Renegades of Funk, dude. Rage Against the Machine self-titled is dope though. I can't believe that was 2000. Wow. Of course it was. Only 8 years. Remember that shit on video games.
Is it Tom Morello or one of the other ones was like
Oh, they're
Harvard
called
Rage Against the Machine were pro-vaccine a single time and they can't let it go. But also Rage is like, you know, it's Rage Against the Machine, man. There's some of their most famous songs are pretty on the nose political statements from a leftist anarchist position.
educated as well. Like
Yeah,
they've had some of the best education. Well, clearly not good enough, but
Well, no,
But still.
it's, you know,
They're very rich.
mm,
and they've always been commies. So it's just like,
yes.
They've always been commies. God damn it.
But
At least he knows they've always been commies. That's good.
the other case is Aaron Bushnell. This is obviously from the 25th of February 2024, so it wasn't really that long ago.
Yeah, but this was like a different end of the political spectrum and not someone with like, you know, conspiratorial fucking weirdo stuff. This was powerful, man.
And he set himself on fire outside of the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C., chanting Free Palestine.
Yeah.
And this has captured a lot of people's attention. He's already got himself a sizable Wikipedia entry, so that's what he gets for setting himself on fire.
That's what he gets for setting himself on fire. Like the way they talk about it is so stupid.
People will not get
Like I also don't want to set myself on fire. Isn't it interesting?
this in their life.
well, that's so sad.
So it's getting rewarded basically by all of this recognition. I mean,
This is
there are many prominent
a
scientists that
posthumous reward. That's a reward, I guess.
have contributed huge things to the world,
Yeah, but they have
not setting
Wikipedia
themselves on
entries
fire.
as well.
but not
And their Wikipedia articles are so much smaller. Oh no, I want a bigger Wikipedia article. God, what a fucking... Who cares? I've never once thought about a Wikipedia article
to this scale.
in
A
regards
lot
to
of
my
them get deleted
political
as well,
activism. I'm
because it's on
sure
space.
Aaron Bushnell didn't give
But
a fuck.
I just think this is really sad because I mean, like, he's gonna have parents. You know?
It is sad when people die, Carl. You should think about that. You know, what's really sad, you know, Palestinians have parents. Gazans have parents. Muslims from all over have parents. Black kids have parents. Mexican kids have parents. And people, you know, they have to be kids to have parents. You know what I mean? Like, think of that, Carl. Wow, what a compelling. This guy might have parents. Holy shit.
Well, he had a family. It's
Whoa, a family? People have families and they die?
it's being driven mad by the media cycle because
Yeah,
the Israel-Palestine
and
conflict
he was a
is the Israel-Palestine conflict shouldn't really be of concern to a citizen of the United States.
I fucking disagree, you limey cunt. I fucking disagree. You sick fuck. Shouldn't give a fuck. We shouldn't care about the war crimes happening to children. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I do give a fuck. I don't live geographically there. I give a fuck. You sick piece of shit. This guy's fucking gross. What's your name? We have Milk Boy, Sargon, Punchable.
I mean, there's some Indian woman in America who was threatening to kill some elected officials, and so she's on trial at the moment. It's like, you know, what, over Palestine? What this got nothing to do with?
It's so strange to my mind that people care about this sort of thing because, sure, the United States is at least supplying weapons to Israel, so it makes more sense there. But even this weekend, in central Swindon, there was a Free Palestine march through Swindon, as if Israel's going to be like, oh, hold the fort. People of Swindon have protested against us. It's just ridiculous. Who actually
Swindon,
cares?
BB.
Slimy.
It's over the British.
We can call him Slimy.
But anyway, back
Slimy.
to this guy, the guy who set himself on fire on Friday, Max Azzarello. So after he set himself on fire, unsurprisingly, he died.
Dies just hours after. I want to die immediately if I set myself on fire.
That's not really how it works. Not always.
No, he would have suffered for hours.
He did suffer. I had the misfortune of watching the video of it, and he's on the floor, like writhing in pain.
Of course.
Didn't the army guy, he got shot by security, which that security guard hero. Like someone
Well, putting out of his misery. Yeah. It's supposedly one of the most painful ways to die as
I can
well.
imagine.
Yeah, I certainly don't advocate for it.
No.
Cool. Yeah, I agree. They're so weird. Talking about ooh, wouldn't it be bad to burn to death? Yep. That's what adds to the statement. Because nobody wants to do that. Was Bushnell shot? I thought they drew guns on him, but I don't think they shot.
No.
Do not set yourself on fire. It's going to be the easiest advice to listen to.
Old boy said he was, yeah.
Ever.
You're right.
But apparently, there's some information in this article about who he is and why he did what he did. Apparently, his friends and his neighbours said the death of his mother 2 years ago made him increasingly unstable, and it's almost 2 years to the day of him setting himself on fire that he did that from when she died.
Okay.
And he also had a bout of pulmonary disease after his mother died, which I imagine debilitated him, made him lose a certain amount of hope. But he has got a master's degree, or did have, in city planning, and he got that in 2012. So he's
Yeah, you can't have city planning. Why did he shake his head at city planning? In city planning or something that we don't need like that?
not necessarily
Like this guy was a wackadoo, but it's so weird with like the tone.
uneducated. It's not like he's necessarily stupid.
But it's a strange conspiracy theory.
What is going on? Has Sargon always had that? Is that his eyebrow, or does he have like a mole or something there? What is happening here? Have I just never noticed that?
Like, I'm going to go to the trial of Trump as the Biden administration tries to jail their political opposition.
There's something they do to his voice. Like the very back end of his recording on his voice sounds like it's really compressed, or like they're deleting some noise out of it and changing his voice.
And then say that Trump and Biden are going to coup us.
Like, do you hear how it feels like it's trying to push through a filter? I don't know how to describe it.
There he
A
is.
4chan post? Like, sincerely, I think that's actually a viral, stupid 4chan post.
Mhm.
But
It
they
is, yeah.
changed
I know
faces.
the one, yeah.
Yeah.
God only knows. But like, it just sounds like
Mhm.
someone with mental health issues has spent too much time on the
Yeah, well,
Mental health issues. Should we have broad access to mental health? Should we have a right to health care?
he posted, the final thing he posted on social media was him saying he's going to start an effing revolution. And the way he's
Didn't happen.
sort of singing it to that one, the American song.
Right.
I don't know what it's called. All the Americans are going to be annoyed at me. But he's saying that, and he's sort of twitching a little bit, and you can tell that there's something going on. You don't have to be a psychologist to know that there's mental illness there. There he is with he's got that sort of vacant look of someone who's,
But it's just
mentally-
such a preposterous proposition.
of course,
It's so preposterous. It's crazy. I don't side with this guy, and it's like the way they're talking about it is so weird.
yeah.
No one thinks that Trump is with Biden.
Mhm. Yeah, well, no one's arguing it, and I'm going to be sort of dismantling it.
You
No.
dismantle it.
There he is, with his family, yeah, and he looks like a relatively normal guy, which is it's just a shame. There he is with
Bill Clinton. Bill did it.
Bill Clinton, which is not so normal. But anyway, he also was an organ donor. I was just going to throw this in. So
Both his kidneys.
this was after he died. There was an organ transplant. Apparently, his kidneys were healthy despite his external burns.
Let's go.
Right.
So his kidneys actually did save 2 people's lives. I'm not sure that was his intention.
No.
You know, I don't think he was thinking, I'm an organ donor, so I'm going to save people.
Sure.
But just thought I'd throw
Oh,
it
yeah.
in, just to be somewhat charitable to the guy.
I just feel bad for this guy.
Well, of course, yeah, I feel bad for him as well. He was clearly needing help. Yeah.
Clearly needing help. So when I described to you the socialist policies that would ensure people get help, why are you opposed to them? Why?
So he also sued the Clinton Foundation in 2023. Sorry.
They for sure have a bigger wiki if they self-immolate it, right? You guys want to get big Wikipedia articles? I know exactly what you can do. There's never been 3 people all at the same time to do a group self-immolation, has there? Now think of that.
What year it is? Apparently, these are the words. The defendant, which is as a
How can you have this guy on here? How is this? This is the central guy we're going to listen to for 23 minutes, and not including the long fucking cuts. It's just so bad. Who's the host on this one? Does it say? They don't even list the hosters? The hosters?
Rello said they knowingly
Was he
conspired.
sued by them?
He's suing them.
Right. So he's the
You just unpacked Dr. Pepper Jack Link's beef jerky at work? Why would you say this to me?
plaintiff.
Yes. So he's saying
Why
they
would you say
knowingly
this?
conspired, participated in, and benefited financially from a decade-long fraudulent scheme. Money was solicited internationally, laundered in support of the scheme via the Bill, Hillary, and Chelsea Clinton Foundation, which was created for this purpose by President Bill Clinton and Doug Band in 2001. And he is arguing in this case that there has been significant financial, emotional, and psychological harm to himself. And unsurprisingly, this was dismissed by a judge a month later.
You see, he's not just suing the Clintons there. The number of people he's suing there, the famous names.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Bill and Hillary Clinton, the Chelsea Clinton Foundation, Mark Zuckerberg,
Sam Bankman-Fried,
Richard Branson, Mark Cuban.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just
Peter Thiel.
The beans are out. I just had another idea. Look, I bet the Jack Link's beef jerky would be better than the beans.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Peter Thiel whatsoever.
Anthony Scarry.
There's a pic there? Did you say discussion topics? It's a whole discussion. No, it's a subathon Discord topic. I see. Subathon. That's probably just fine. That's probably fine. No worries.
Scaramucci.
Nicholas Sturgeon.
Is it
What?
she
What?
in there?
Nicholas Sturgeon's in there. She was
Blimey.
fucking- What the hell,
Ross
man?
Perot there as well. Yeah. Blimey. Full laundry list
Yes.
of important people.
I'm not terribly surprised that the judge was like, get out.
Mm-hmm. So
Bizarre collection.
he also, prior to setting himself on fire, went on a string of offences. Here he is in a mugshot looking very sane.
What was
So
it for?
apparently he threw a glass of wine
There
at
you
a
go.
framed and autographed photo of President Bill Clinton,
Sheesh, base.
which is kind of based, in a lobby of the Casa Monica Hotel in his hometown of St. Augustine in Florida.
Ghost pepper chip.
And then 2 days later, he was back at the hotel where he was reported to police for standing outside, stripping his clothes off and yelling at customers.
Not based.
And when the police arrived, they noticed he was wearing nothing but his underwear, standing on the sidewalk,
Never mind. You can wear undies.
shouting in a speaker, blasting music and yelling,
You probably can't do that part though. He's a Florida man. It suddenly makes sense. I know, right?
which, of course, is not the
St.
actions of
Augustine.
the same person. And then again, on the 24th of August, he was arrested again for graffitiing the property and rifling through a woman's belongings in a flatbed truck, which is not exactly sane.
Right.
But there he is in his picture, looking increasingly crazy.
God, he's a Florida man as well.
Keeps calling him
He is.
crazy.
There he
every
is.
time, dude.
There's his more Florida man screenshot there.
Okay, look. This guy was a conspiracy theorist and stuff, but this doesn't mean you're crazy. It means you don't look. It just doesn't look like he respects police, and that's fine with me. Like, this does not look crazy to me. I don't think. Man, saying crazy all the time, like, it just dismisses what people's actual grievances are. Like, definitely this guy had mental health issues and needed help, right? I mean, you could say the same for Aaron Bushnell, but either way, I think conflating the two is what they're trying to do, right? Is trying to say, look, oh, well, you know, this cogent young man who decided to, you know, do this extreme political protest and scream "Free Palestine" the whole time, right? Deeply convicted, is the same as this very, very harmed person, you know, like burning himself and putting out conspiracy theory pamphlets. Like, it's not the same. The only thing that links them is self-immolation.
And there he is with Bill Clinton. There's his...
As an unwilling Floridian, I confirm this Florida man behavior. I moved to Florida out of high school, and it was fucking wild. I have so many stories about Florida, and I lived there for like two and a half years. It was wacky. What a wacky, culturally shocking place to go to. From a small town, little Michigan guy. It is. I had good times there, though. It's not a bad place. It's so fucking wacky, though. There are a bunch of weirdos in Florida.
Manifesto as well, which...
the true history of the world. Thank God, finally.
Yeah, I mean...
Haunted Carnival edition.
All of these lies. So he's also been photographed here with a Bernie Sanders shirt with Eat the Rich with Newt Gingrich.
Bernie Sanders, Eat the Rich, hanging out with Newt Gingrich. Look, this guy was all over the fucking place.
Interesting. I don't know why he agreed to have that photograph with that T-shirt on, but
yeah,
there we go.
Just what? Okay.
He was the only true centrist. Dude, this is what happens when you have true centrism. You just it ends up poorly.
I mean, you probably thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
He's wearing it ironically, maybe. But he has a Substack. Here he is. He's written.
I know people want to get people to read Substacks, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
No
this
matter how much.
promotion is
Oh, he's
going
actually
too
got
far.
a thing. I've set myself on fire outside the Trump trial.
Yeah, I'll be looking at that.
The term haunted carnival suggests that there are unhaunted carnivals, which I think we all know is 100% impossible.
In a second. But he says, I did 1,500 hours of research since Peter Thiel.
We got kibbles. You can just go eat them. Dude, she got a little cat booty. She has just like a little itty bitty cat booty. And a big chunky middle section.
Thiel started a bank run in March, and now...
All right, look, I have lots of time to fill. I have 11 more hours to go today, and I simply can't finish this video. I can't watch a Lotus Eaters podcast episode. It's tough. I'm calling it quits. I literally can't finish that shit. 13 minutes? 13 minutes and they're just like... and it's like, you're just British. The whole thing here is we're British.